Good morning or excuse me, good afternoon. This is Scott Fain with Team Woods Podcast. For the first time coming to you live with a video presentation. I'm here today with Mr. Curtis Coleman, my good friend and my best friend's uncle, and a sage, wise teacher that I hope we can learn some things from today. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. Veterans Day, I've been doing some shout out to all my veteran friends and relatives and have a little fun on Facebook.
Oh, that's cool. You guys got any plans for today? I mean, plans that you can do, all things considered?
No group plans considered. I told myself I was going to get up early and hit up every restaurant that's got a free giveaway. But as always, that didn't come to fruition. I haven't left the house yet. So it is what it is. Yeah. I might get somewhere before the end of the day. I'm not sure.
Okay. It doesn't even feel like a holiday today. It's been raining and kind of drizzling all day long. And I mean, I like it, but there's sometimes it feels like a holiday.
Look, every day is a holiday to me. I don't have to get up and go to work.
All right. The reason why we're talking today, one of the things that Matthew and I were talking about is, for one, we like to learn and we like to listen, especially when it comes to our elders and the people that we hold a lot of respect for. And right. One of the things that he mentioned to me a number of times about you is that you're one of the storytellers in the family. And you have a lot of good stories, especially as it relates to your time in service and cooking, especially, because that's one of the things that a passion that we all share is we love to cook and especially love to eat. And right. So I was hoping to pick your brain a little bit on some of your experience and find out some fun stories from your time in the Navy as a cook. And just to, like I said, just to learn a little bit more.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, when did you serve in the Navy?
I joined the Navy in January of 1978.
Okay.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Were you drafted?
Oh, no, the draft was over then. And I had got laid off from my job in Warren. I was working for Warren Engineers as an apprentice carpenter. So I had gotten used to getting paid by then, and I got laid off in that job, and I said, oh my God, I got to get out of here. I got to get some employment. And I kind of wanted to leave the Youngstown area anyway. So, excuse me, I went ahead and joined the Navy.
Okay. What was the reason for the Navy versus one of the other branches of service?
Well, I don't think I never really evaluated that. I know my older brother, who just recently passed away, Ronnie Coleman, he had been in the Navy, and that's probably what leaned me towards the Navy.
Okay. What was your rank and position?
My first enlistment, I was what they called a storekeeper. We took care of issuing products throughout the ship for the different divisions on the ship, and kept financial records for all that. And then I decided I didn't want to do that anymore. And I went to a cook, which was, they were called mess management specialists at the time. I went to his re-enlistment ceremony, and I watched him get what they called an SRB, a selective bonus re-enlistment. And that was in 1979. I witnessed that, and he got about $12,000 at the time. Mm-hmm. And when I checked on the storekeepers, they said, no, you don't get no re-enlistment bonus as a storekeeper. And that's when I immediately said, well, you know what does it take to be a cook? And I went through that process and changed my rate to MS, Mesh Management Specialist, and got my little $10,000 bonus. So I was happy about that. Yeah.
Changed it up for the money. Were you involved in any kind of conflicts, major or minor, while you were in the service?
No. And my first year of enlistment, I was on Midway Island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. So it was considered sea duty, but I wasn't on a ship. And after that, I spent a year out there. That's when I was the storekeeper. And when I got to my first ship, the USS Cayuga, that was 1979, I believe. And we didn't go through any major conflicts. That's what the ship I changed rates on. And man, I've been retired now for 22 years. And I really got to exercise my memory because I was about to leave the USS Curtis Wilbur, I believe it was. No, let me get my facts straight. I was on the USS Jewett when the Gulf War was getting ready to happen.
Hmm.
That was man, it was. I forget the dates because it's been so long. But I wasn't involved in any major conflicts at all. I missed them. I missed
Mhm.
them. Yeah.
Guess that's fortunate too. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
one of the things that Matt and I were talking about, he experiences a lot more with the veterans, you know, because he's out and about with the dogs and stuff. And one of the things that we were talking about last night was that he's notices when it comes to talking with veterans, sometimes there's a silence, you know, when you try and ask about service and, you know, some of their time away and overseas, it kind of, they seize up on the information, like they don't want to speak about it or anything. And I wanted to see what your experience was. That is that something that you experience yourself where you don't want to talk about it?
Oh
Or?
no, no, no. And I think mostly that's the guys who've been through combat and had a lot of harrowing experiences.
Mhm.
I haven't seen that with too many vets. And a lot of times they'll talk to another vet about it, you know, because they feel comfortable. But
Mhm.
no, I haven't. My experience has been that that's been the guys who been through the battle. That they often come back, you know, they're shook and it's hard to shake. And it's so many, and that's very unfortunate because a lot of guys didn't even do 20 years like myself, and they may have done one enlistment and got messed up behind.
Mhm.
It's very unfortunate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I suppose it is, especially when you consider you don't get a lot of therapy and stuff when you come back home. At least it doesn't seem like that's one of the things that's emphasized, you know.
Well, you know, I've always had a beef with the military about that because a lot of guys need it. You can't just send someone home when they've been through that. You need to be that back gradually, but that's not always the case because you're more at ease with the people who know what you've been through. Your sister, your brother who never served, your cousins, your friends, they don't know what you've been through. And being in the military is totally different from the civilians. You know, there's some things that you just have to go along with. You can't quit. And quitting is not an option. It's not a good option. You can quit, but you're gonna regret it. You
Hmm.
regret it. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, they don't filter everybody back to society right because there's a lot of Vietnam vets that's still around that they're just in bad shape, living on the streets. A lot of them in the prison or whatever. You know, not everybody can take that combat and come back, you know, the same person that they were.
Yeah, that's one of those things that I always think about, especially as it relates to veterans. I don't think that any veteran should be homeless or, you know, be without, you know, just the basics at the least.
Right,
It's like the
right.
least you can do. You send somebody overseas to fight in the war. The least you can do is help them put the pieces of their life back together. That doesn't seem like a hard lift to me.
Well, it comes down to the individual also. Not everybody, you know, was meant to be in the military. And if you go on the training that you get, uh, you should be able to make it
Mhm.
because you train how to handle a stressful situation. You know, and I'm at a loss as to why so many vets, you know, just don't do well after they separate from the military. It's strange. I haven't figured that one out. You know, and it's kind of usual, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah.
When
Well,
it,
change the tack a little. As it relates to the cooking, one of the first things I was curious about, like when you become a cook in the Navy, like what's that first big lesson that you had to learn? Otherwise, like, you know, it's like if you don't do this, then your whole week is shot. Like, is there a lesson like that?
Yeah. The guys, you go to MS school for 6 to 8 weeks to get the basic training, learn how to do a little bit of records keeping. You gotta know how to do recipe conversions. Because you might go to a ship that's got 200 people, or you might go to an aircraft carrier that's got 5,000 people. So you got to know how to convert those weights and pounds and ounces to feed 200 and up to feed up to 5,000. So there's so much that's thrown at you. But when you come out of school and get to your first command ship or whatever, they tell you, okay, we know you're just out of school, but now you're in the real deal. And you have to be able to adjust on the fly. It was all about, pay attention to what you're doing and learn fast. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What was your favorite meal to cook while you were in the service?
Look, I didn't have no favorites. And when I became an MS, it stuff was pretty easy. It was kind of bland. You had a decent variety. Most of the time, we were on a 6-week cycle where you have something different every day for 6 weeks. Then you start over again
Hmm.
because you have to understand you can only hold so much food on the ship. You can only hold so much at a time, and that menu had to be adhered to at all times. You just couldn't change it because you wanted to. And you better not run out of food. You better not run out of this. You better not run out of that. It was it could get hectic, but man, when everybody is doing their job, it went pretty smooth. It went pretty smooth. Sometimes you get a little low on this, that, but you had a underway replenishment where another supply ship would come alongside, and we get provisions from the ship, be it high lining over or be in helicopter dropped in. It
Hmm.
was a lot to do. Yeah, yeah. It was an adventure, like they said. It was an adventure.
Was it like for the menu? Was it like everybody on the ship gets spaghetti today, or did you have to prepare like a
Yeah,
varied menu?
yeah. The menu was pretty varied. Like for breakfast, you always had at least two meats. You might have bacon and sausage. Then you'd have eggs to order. You'd have scrambled eggs. You'd have a hot cereal. You may have hash browns or something like that. You had cold cereal. You had peanut butter and jelly available. You had fruits and fruit juices and milk available.
Mm.
So it wasn't just like you get some meatloaf and potatoes. No, no, we had a pretty varied menu.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that doesn't sound as scary as sometimes you hear. Just like it's slop and stuff like that. It never, I always feel like anybody I've talked to, it doesn't seem like that's the type of meals that you're going to get in the service. It's good
Well,
food.
it wasn't five star, but also you had a lot of crybabies and whiners who wouldn't be satisfied if their mother was cooking.
You said
Yeah,
they wouldn't be satisfied if their mother was cooking it.
exactly. Exactly. You always had some whiners and crybabies.
Hmm.
Always. That was normal. That was normal. Yeah.
What was your like favorite experience? Like what's the story you tell the your best day?
Oh man, it's too many because from ship to ship you always had a different experience. I witnessed fights right in the child line. I remember I was on the USS Kitty Hawk aircraft carrier. It was breakfast, and you got 300-400 people in line, right? And this
Mm.
is at breakfast, and guys are ordering their eggs to order, which I disagreed with at the time because you got too many people in line, and it takes a couple of minutes to do, over medium eggs, over hard eggs, sunny side up. They discontinued sunny side up for whatever reason. But the guy that was a Marine in line, he was complaining that he had to hurry up and get on watch, and it was taking the guy, the cook that was back there, the Navy cook that was back there fixing his eggs too long to serve him. And the young kid on the eggs got mad, got his spatula, lifted up his eggs that he was going to give to that Marine, and slung them right in his face.
Ooh.
That was hilarious. And them eggs were hot and greasy coming off that grill.
Oof.
And then the Marine tried to jump over the serving line to get at the cook. And what he didn't realize, he landed on the grill, on that hot grill, hands first, of course. He burnt the heck out of himself.
Mm.
And oh my goodness, it was wild. That was a wild morning. And you get guys coming through the line crying about, oh man, I hate this slop. Man, ain't y'all got nothing better? And somebody like me, especially when I got a little bit of rank, I told them, excuse my language, I said, we cook better than your mother did. And ooh-wee, it would be on and popping there.
I bet it would. It's like a low-key your mama joke right there.
Exactly. You come there talking crazy. Don't do that. Not to the cook. Don't do that. Not anybody like me. I wasn't gonna take it. That's how.
Oh man.
And a lot of my old shipmates, none around, could verify. Oh yeah, Coleman, yeah, you don't want none, don't give him none. That's right. That's right. I'll get you back.
Did you like, because you had to travel, for what you were doing, like did you ever get off ship to travel and see any kind of different exotic foods and things like that? I'm
Man,
asking.
we weren't interested in no exotic nothing when we got off that ship. Again, we were on the Kitty Hawk, and they had when I got there, because I had to fly on board. They had already been out to sea for almost 3 months straight. So them guys wasn't worried about going on no tours, no exotic restaurants. They wanted to get there, get their drink on, get their party on, and act the damn fool. That was number one. And, few guys wanted to go, sign up for some of the tours. They always had tour sign-ups, yeah, you could do that, but that was not the norm. That was not the norm.
So you didn't have any strange, you didn't eat anything strange while you was over there?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, you had to do that now. But that wasn't, you didn't go to no 5-star restaurant. Now, I don't remember indulging. I think I tried, and I didn't have the stomach for it at the time. But people who have seen this show, I forget what it was called, and it was brutal because they would put a live monkey in a table with a hole in it, and they give you a hammer, and then you would beat the monkey on the head, and the maitre d' would slice the top of his head off, and that was fresh monkey brain, literally fresh monkey brain.
I've seen that. I saw that on some kind of thing.
I was in a restaurant like that. That was in the Philippines. I was in a restaurant like that. So that was real.
Oof. I mean, yeah, it was like Faces of Death, I think is what they called it. It looked real.
Yeah.
Goodness.
You got to be tough to sit there and witness that.
Yeah, I imagine so. Like was that just the only thing they served? I can't imagine eating anything else.
They had everything. You might, balut, that was in the Philippines also. That was a half fertilized egg. That was a big deal over there. That's another thing,
Oh, the duck egg, right?
Yeah, you have to grow up around stuff like that for it to be normal.
Okay.
Because cracking it open and smelling it is too much for me.
Oof,
it was too much. Monkey on a stick, grilled monkey meat. That was something. Any kind of meat you were liable to eat over there, overseas, especially Philippines, Thailand. I didn't see so much of that exotic stuff down in Australia and Korea, dog meat, yeah, a little bit of everything. You had to try a little bit of something to call yourself a salty dog. You had to indulge in some of that food. And I'm still here. It didn't kill you.
Yeah, I imagine not. I just don't know. Like I said, I want to try some things, but what you just described, I don't think I can do it right now either. None of that stuff.
And that's why alcohol was always involved.
Oh boy. Well, wrapping up, I wanted to just, is there any other story or anything that you feel comfortable sharing just about your experience over there doing the cooking?
Well, we had a chance to host. I can't remember when we were in Dubai, and Dubai was it's just a beautiful place. It's just everything was man-made around. It was all sand at one time, but it's a spot so beautiful now. It's mind-blowing. But we had a chance to do help out at a dinner for a prince or something over there. And I remember that being a very nice affair. Gold plated this, gold plated that in this joint. You know, they were serving Louis the 13th alcohol. It was $150 a shot. Yeah, that was my most extravagant experience in the military as far as food service went. Everything else was pretty much basic. We used to have what they call still beach picnics in the middle of the Indian Ocean over there by the Persian Gulf, when everybody was on watch over there when it was getting hot with Kuwait and Iraq and Iran.
Mm-hmm.
So then we'd have to feed the crew. It wasn't so bad, but on the aircraft carrier where you got 5,000 people, you had a grill, a 20-foot long grill, and it's 110 degrees outside with no shade, and you got 50 bags of charcoal lit up that you standing behind. Woo! It was some days.
I bet.
Yeah, that's why people don't understand. I can tolerate the heat. It don't bother me to get 100 degrees cooking in the kitchen. That's nothing.
Well, yeah, compared to what you had to deal with, that's like a nice day on a 100-degree weather, especially over there.
Woo. No shade, just straight sun. Straight sun. One story that almost got one of my junior cooks killed. We were in we were over in the desert country. I think we may have been in Oman, and they were going on a trip, a sightseeing trip, and we were tasked to make bag lunches for the guys. Now, why this guy he got the menu mixed up, and he fixed egg salad sandwiches.
Ooh. Hold on.
Yeah, we thought we was gonna have to get that kid out the country.
You make egg salad on a hot day like that out there?
Always 100. You talking about over in the desert? That's, oh Lord have mercy. Egg salad. This is not a good idea. Not a good idea at all. That was a terrible day. That was a terrible day.
So was he gonna get killed because everybody was like, "Why you make egg salad?" Or did they eat the egg salad?
People was getting sick. What no mercy now? You. We had some wild times out there on that ocean and on those ships. Some good things happen, some bad things happen. And some people had to be flown off for their safety. This is not the right podcast for that. Some of the stuff I can tell you is, it's unimaginable that went on those United States Navy ships. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was something.
Perhaps another time with a drink in hand, we can do that. I would like to hear those stories at some point. Just because I'm always fascinated by, just everybody's story is interesting. Sure. People have been through things. Well,
they were normal to us, but to tell somebody else, oh, that's not the truth. Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah, I don't discount it. Because like I said, I haven't walked through your shoes, so I can't speak to it. But I appreciate you sharing with us for sure.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna thank you, and hopefully we can do something like this again very soon.
Anytime, Scott.
All right.
Anytime.
I can't hear the last part. Say that one more time.
I said anytime.
Oh, no problem. Thank you again. Take care.
All right, you too, Scott. Thank you.
Right. Take care.
All right. Bye.